Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kayla. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A that I had posted about on my Instagram page, asking you guys if you had any makeup, skincare, or hair questions. And I received 6 really good questions from you guys that I'm going to go over today and kind of demonstrate some of those responses as well. So I'm just going to dive right in and we'll start with the first question I had. Alright, first question I had was, what is a good hair care routine? Mine is getting so dry, and I also have that experience because I'm always in the sun and I don't really take care of my hair too much, unfortunately. Always in the salt water, so I have pretty dry ends. Right now it's kind of crimped because I did braids, but this is unwashed. I'll show you guys. Put it down. This is like 2-day hair for me. Unwashed, it's kind of like oily at the top and then drier at the bottom. But something that I definitely recommend is to do a hair mask every once in a while. Usually once a week is pretty good to maintain, or if you need to initially make an impact, you could do it as like a shower routine every day. So this one that I'm going to show you guys today is the EVA NYC hair mask, and it is called the Therapy Session Hair Mask powered by plant protein and argan oil. So this is more of like a natural hair mask that I got from Target, and it says it's free from parabens, phthalates, mineral oil, all those nasty things that you don't really want in your hair. And this you can actually keep in the shower and use every day if you'd like, as almost your conditioner replacement, and it only takes 2 to 3 minutes to leave in the hair, so it's a really easy way to implement a hair mask into your routine. And then the other thing that I recommend is, if you are using hot tools or going out in the sun a lot, to use something that has heat protectant and UV protection as well. So this is the same EVA brand that is from Target, and it's just a little spray that you can put in your damp hair after the shower. Helps with strengthening, heat protection, reducing frizz, detangling, softening, cuts your drying time, adds shine, nourishes, smooths, and has the UV protection. And this line smells really good. There's definitely other brands out there that I can recommend to you guys in the comments below, but this is just more of an affordable line that you can incorporate really easily into your lifestyle. So I'll go ahead and show you guys, this is the before, and then I'll come right back and show you how it looks after I use both of these products, and then also use a hair dryer since I'll be using the heat protectant as well, and I don't mind blowing up my hair for that. Alright, be right back. Okay, so this is my post blowout hair, and I used the hair mask and I left it on for about like 5 minutes, and then before I used the hair dryer I went in with a little bit of this spray, just spraying about like a foot away from your hair. Make sure you get the roots and the tips. A few other tips to keeping your hair looking healthy is to not take super hot showers, and to try not to use hot tools as often. Try to use them less and let your hair air dry. I always try to find something with a protectant in it that is used after I shower, because I feel like it will actually prolong in your hair throughout the day, whereas if you use something with a protectant that's like a shampoo or conditioner or hair mask that you rinse out, you're just rinsing it all away, so I don't really understand the benefits of that. So yeah, overall I give this product I'd say like an 8 out of 10. You want to go out, Kona? Kona's trying to get out. You want to let him out? I really don't like to blow dry my hair, so like you could also let your hair air dry even when you use the 10-in-1 primer that this is. So yeah, that is a good way to keep your hair from looking dead and frizzy at the bottom. I also have some other suggestions I'll post down below so that people with different hair textures and slightly different problems with their hair might be able to benefit from other types of products. This brand is good for all hair types. I have more thin strands and very straight natural hair, so this is really good for like really thin hair. It doesn't like weigh it down too much or make it oily, so recommend. The next question I have is, I have 2 questions that I'm going to wrap up into one response, just because I had a question about what a good basic skincare routine is, and then also what serum I use on my skin in general. So I'll incorporate that in my whole skincare routine and show you guys. I'll be right back with all my products. Okay. Jeez. Alright, now he wants to come in. For my basic skincare routine, I generally incorporate a cleanser, some sort of serum or oil, and an eye cream and moisturizer and SPF. I don't do this every day. Sometimes I miss some steps, but I definitely always try to put on an SPF that is moisturizing if I can't get through everything else. First thing is to cleanse your skin, and sometimes you can double cleanse. Like if you have makeup on, you can use makeup wipe and then use a liquid cleanser to get the rest of any of the excess oil or any leftover makeup or anything clogging the pores. This is just the fresh foaming cleanser from Neutrogena, good for all skin types, and it also does remove some makeup, but I prefer using makeup wipes or an oil-based cleanser for that, because I think it works a lot better, especially on like mascaras and waterproof stuff. This is just one of your classic pharmacy brands. So this one is soap-free, alcohol-free, oil-free, non-comedogenic, hypoallergenic, and dermatologist tested. I really like this as a very affordable cleanser that you can use daily. The next step is to go in with a serum that can be, serums can really be many forms. It can be exfoliating, a brightening, or hydrating serum. So I tried to exfoliate my skin and then use more oils or moisturizers for hydrating. One of my favorite more gentle exfoliators would be the Sunday Riley Good Genes, and this can be used, I would probably use this like 2 to 3 times a week, and I like to use this mostly at night just so that when I go out throughout the day I'm not exposing my skin to too much sun, because this does exfoliate and create more sensitivity to UV. So this helps with fine lines, uneven texture, dark spots, and just the appearance of smoother skin, because it's just taking off any dead skin that's on the surface. You can use it as a mask, so just leave it on for 2 minutes and then rinse it off if you have really sensitive skin, or you can just put it on underneath your oils and moisturizers. So I'm going to do one, I like to do 1 pump, some people do 2, but you can also apply it on your neck as well. So I just start by rubbing this all throughout the areas that I am most dry to help kind of exfoliate those areas, and you can apply it up through your eye socket area and then just push in the rest to ensure that it's getting right into your pores. A lot of people don't think about applying skincare to their neck, and that is a really obvious spot for aging. If you don't have any skincare applied to it, it will actually create fine lines and wrinkles down through the neck, so make sure you're applying your skincare to that area as well. Okay, so I let that kind of absorb into my skin. Each layer that you apply for skincare, you want to make sure it's getting seeped into your skin and not too tacky or wet before you apply your next layer. Then, I usually do have a chapstick too that I use. I like the Bite Beauty lip treatment that they have, and I just apply that morning or night or both. That just helps keep your lips hydrated and less flaky. Okay, so after the Good Genes lactic acid treatment, I will go in with another treatment, but it's an oil, and this helps with locking in moisture. It's antibacterial, it smooths out your texture, it's also anti-inflammatory. This is a CBD oil, and it's 100% organic. This is a brand that my friend sells at her skincare studio, and she actually sent me a few products that pair really well with this, that is good for just like a masking day where you're gonna really take care of yourself and make sure you hydrate your skin after like a day out in the sun and stuff. So I'm gonna have another video out next Tuesday with that full skincare routine to just dive in a little deeper into how to hydrate, especially during the summer and drier seasons. So with this oil, I'm gonna apply 2 drops, and I'll apply it to the palm of my hand. Actually, I'll do 3. And then the heat of your palms will help to just kind of blend this into the rest of your skin. I always try to push in my skincare instead of rubbing at my skin, so I'm not pulling and causing more fine lines when I don't have to. And this just ensures that it's getting really absorbed into your skin and you're covering all the areas. Already it's giving me a nice glow, and it smells pretty nice. It doesn't have like a really fragrant smell, but it has kind of like almost like a seed, like a natural seedy smell. I don't know how to describe it. So even if you have oily skin, using an oil as a moisturizer will actually help to counteract you overproducing an oil, so you'll have a more hydrated, plump skin if you continuously use an oil every day. Your body will naturally acclimate to receiving the oil, so it won't feel the need to overproduce. Next step, depending on if I'm doing my morning or nighttime routine, I'll use a very basic Clinique Pep Start eye cream for the daytime, and this one has a cute little ball at the end you can actually use as the applicator to apply directly to your skin. But I like to just use my fingers so that I know how much I'm putting on. Usually do a rice grain amount, use a ring finger, and then apply into the socket of your eye, and then even up into your brow bone area. And we use our ring finger, or the most gentle finger, to push into this area, because your eye socket has a thinner skin compared to the rest of your face, so it's more gentler area. Whatever's left I apply in the middle here between my eyebrows, because I have that scowl line that I do not want to grow into. And then you can even apply around your nose and around the smile line here. Anywhere where you really will get like fine lines and wrinkles as you age. My other option is for a nighttime eye cream. I have the QUAI Super Eye Serum called Black Pine, and this helps with, this is more, I'd say, anti-aging, so it's a little bit of a heftier eye cream, and Clinique is more of a instant brightener and moisturizer. This has more of a long-term effect, so I would recommend definitely choosing different eye creams, whether it's for day or night. And QUAI is a really clean line, so if you're looking for natural ingredients, no additives or whatever, that's a good brand to look into. And then, to keep moisturizing, if that's not enough for you, you can go in with a moisturizer. This is the Perricone MD Oil-Free Hydrating Cream, and you can apply this to face and neck in the morning or at night. It's good for all skin types, but mostly for oily skin since it is an oil-free product. And since we've already applied a decent amount of hydrating products onto the skin, you do not need much at all, just about fingertip amount. I'm going to start at my neck since I haven't really applied too much product there. And then press into your face to layer on top of the previous product that you just applied. And last but not least, I go in with a sunscreen. So sunscreen is super important. Even if it's not a sunny day, you're still getting exposed to the UV rays, even though it might be weaker one day compared to the next. It's always good to have something as a barrier between your skin and the sun. So the Drunk Elephant brand is one of my top choices because it has a little bit of a tint to it, so it evens out your skin tone naturally and gives a really nice dewy effect. The smell is not super great, but it just kind of smells like a natural sunscreen. I use about a dime amount. You can see it's more of a skin tone color, so it doesn't really have that white cast on the skin, which is really nice. I haven't seen this on darker skin tones. I'm not sure how it would affect someone who is like a medium to really dark skin tone, but I'd be interested to see. So I just apply this all over once my skincare is completely dried down. And I even apply it over my lips a little bit because you need to also protect your lips from sun damage. Usually for the rest of my body, if I'm going to spend some time in the sun, I'll just use Sun Bum SPF 30 and I'll apply that on these areas that get really exposed. And then don't forget your eyelids. This is not waterproof. Like, I would reapply probably if you go do some activities and you're sweating a lot, because it's not that great for water resistance. But if you just want something that's like fresh and dewy, then this is definitely something I'd recommend. So yeah, that is my basic skincare routine and a little bit about the serums that I use. So hopefully that answered most of your questions. The next question I have is how to cover spots. So I'm assuming that this is more for dark spots, but I'm going to show you how to do dark spot and also color correcting for like dark circles or redness. So I will get my products and we'll get into that. Alright, we're nice and zoomed in here so we can look at all my under eye circles and my freckles and all my discoloration. Awesome. For the person that asked about dark spots, I would say first thing is to color correct. Depending on the color of your skin and also the color of the dark spots, that's going to change what you use. One of my favorite products is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear. I don't know if I said that right. This color is brick red and it's used for really dark discoloration, and it's also best for dark skin tones if you have more of a black or gray dark circle under your eyes. So this is a magic product. I'm going to try a little bit on my freckle just so you can see what it does. A little bit goes a long way, so be very careful. Do a little bit on the back of your hand first. I'm going to grab this very tiny brush and I'm going to go and try to cover this freckle I have right above my eyebrow. So the red cancels out really dark, almost black tones, black and brown tones, and it helps to just warm it up a little bit so you'll get closer to your natural skin tone once you go to put a concealer on over the top. Whereas if you were just to use a concealer, it might actually turn into a gray tone because it's like trying to put white over black, which will equal gray. So you need to warm it up first before you start putting a lighter shade on top. For my concealer, I just use the Maybelline Master Conceal in this shade. I have a helicopter now above me. This is shade Light. It's probably a little too light for my skin right now, but we're gonna go for it. I like to use my fingers. If you're trying to get a more natural finish, your finger actually helps to pick up some extra product. So you dab it over the top, blend out the edges. If you're doing a larger spot, you can also put powder over in between these layers, and it helps to set each layer in between. Definitely wait for your color corrector to dry before you start adding your concealer on top, or else it will blend the two shades together and then you'll end up with like an orange mixture. It's really bright, so I'm just brightening it up. I mostly use this for my under eyes, so I'm gonna go in with my foundation shade, which is a little darker, to kind of help even this out into my natural skin tone. This is the Lancome Skin Feels So Good Skin Tint, and this is in shade 1N Nude. And again, just using my finger to go over the top. You can also use a sponge, or you can use a brush, it's up to you. The key is to blend around the edges so that it blends into your skin, but then it really covers the area of your concern. So I switched to a brush just so I get a heavier coverage, because this freckle is really dark. You can see it start to disappear. So the thing with makeup is it definitely can cover, but it doesn't smooth out texture. So that's where a lot of people get confused with makeup, because it's not a magic smoothing like you're gonna get new skin. It's just something that will help even out tones. So like this freckle, you're still gonna be able to tell I have something there, even though now it's the same color as my skin tone because it's raised. So don't get too picky with yourself. And I don't normally cover my freckles. This is like an example I'm just showing, just so people with dark spots that are usually not raised, they can find a new way to help conceal without having to use a lot of makeup. Be lenient with yourself, and you know, don't expect too much from makeup, because really there's some things that are just natural, and just embrace it. Yeah, so this is a little quick tip on how to cover a dark spot. Last but not least, I have another 2 question that will turn into 1 response, because I have how do you smooth out your complexion without feeling like there's a ton of makeup, and also how do you get a fresh, dewy, sun-kissed look. So I'm going to show you exactly how to create a smooth, even complexion that looks like you're not wearing makeup for your summertime makeup look. Let's get to it. So we're going to really just focus on brightening up the skin and not really covering any other natural part of your skin. Just evening out the tone a little bit and brightening up underneath the eyes. I have more options here, but I'll go through them. For me, I would use, depending on how bright I want to go, I would continue using this brand of LA Girl Pro Conceal. The brighter I want to go, I'll use this light yellow shade. If I want to go closer to my skin tone, which I probably do for this one since I want to look natural, is to go in with this peach tone. So again, applying to the back of my hand, because sometimes if you go straight in with the product, you tend to over apply. So I'm going to go in, and I'm using my fingers for all of this because I want it to really blend into my skin and not have brush strokes or be too much. Take a little bit and apply only over the area that has darkness. And whatever area you touch first is going to have the most coverage, so make sure you're going into the darkest part of your eye to cover that. Then you can use this finger to kind of blend the edges out and create a seamless transition into the rest of your skin. Okay. So that was the first step of getting your eyes to be brighter, less tired. Next, I'm going to go in with canceling out redness. I don't have super apparent redness on my skin. I mean, right now I'm just hot, so that's just like gonna happen. I'm just gonna be pink. But if you have more severe redness on your skin that you want to cover, I would go in with this next color corrector, which is green. Green cancels out red, and if you want it to be a very natural finish, use your finger. And I do have more redness around my nose because of my broken capillaries, So I'll apply some to there, but be very careful to not apply it on the rest of your neutral skin tone, or else it's going to actually look green. It's crazy, like how a color applied on another color just goes neutral. It's so crazy to me. So like concealers, yeah, they're one shade and can help to cover parts of your face, but color correctors just give you more of a natural finish and cancel out specific colors on your skin. Next, to get a even complexion, if you're not going to go in and color correct, the most basic way to even out your skin tone is to mix a little bit of a skin tint that's already sheer with an illuminating glow lotion, or you can mix it with any other lotion that you have. So it sheers out your product even more, and in this case adds more of a pearlescent glow to your skin. And again, I'm using my hands, the back of my hand, which now looks like a palette because I just used all those color correctors on there. And then you go into the area that has the most discoloration. So I get red throughout here, and I know that's a trend now to like have a blush effect all throughout here, but I don't really want that. But I start at the center of my face because this is what I want to be the brightest and what I want to neutralize more so that I don't have that discoloration and unevenness in my skin tone. And then to my nose. If you don't like all of this dewiness, you can use a powder to mattify. I think using Makeup Forever HD powders are great because they don't look powdery. It absorb the excess oil that's on your skin. And I'm pretty much just pressing everything in because I want it to really blend into my skin and not be just getting pushed around to different areas. This creates a nice even layer onto your skin. Even everything out and then go in with a little cream blush. This one is the Urban Decay Face and Lip Tint. So I'll try this actually on both my cheeks and my lips. And this is in shade Bang. This is the color. It looks intimidating, I know. First, apply a little bit to your fingers. And starting at the highest point of your cheeks here, and then just blending throughout. It gives you such a beautiful like glow from within. I haven't tried their other shades yet, but this is such a beautiful summer shade. Look at that. Look at that. Pretty. And then I'll add a little bit to my lips here. I really like to make it kind of messy looking on the lips, so it looks like you just were making out. I mean, it's pretty sheer anyway, so you're not like gonna look like you just drank a bunch of Kool-Aid, but it makes it easy to be kind of effortless anyways and just rub it all over. Next thing, a little bit of bronzer. I'm using the Sephora Bora Bora color, and I'm gonna use this kind of dusting all over my face. So I'm gonna use a bigger fluffy brush and just go in and kind of carve out around where I normally get sun. You can also use this as your mattifying powder. If you don't like how shiny your nose is or your forehead, you can just go over lightly with the leftover powder and just tap it over that area. This is my effortless kind of smooth and even complexion for not looking like you have makeup on. Just brightening up underneath the eyes, color correcting a bit, and adding some natural rosiness to the cheeks and bronziness to the rest of the face. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Next, I'm gonna add a little bit more makeup to get more of an effortless summertime makeup effect. So I'm using this foundation as a base for the rest of the look. I'm gonna go in and use that same bronzer and then a fluffy brush, and we're gonna apply this all over the lid and create a really subtle bronzy smoky eye. This is my go-to look, especially if I'm doing like a beach shoot or something like that, and it makes your eyes pop a little bit. And then I even go underneath just slightly, just to round it out and finish it off, but I don't go all the way into the inner corner. And then just wing it out a little bit on the edges here. Then go in with a dark brown shadow. This is the Natasha Denona palette, and then an Ingold liner brush, and just create a really soft and smudgy line at the top just to create a fuller lash line. And I stop usually at the middle of my eye. I don't bring it all the way in because then it starts to get a little bit too dark and less natural. And then at the end here, I just go and kind of like buff it out. Cool. Next, I go in with the lash curler just to get that kind of falsy lash effect, so your lashes are really nice and wispy when you put on mascara. Sometimes too, like I don't even put mascara on. Sometimes I just like how effortless it looks if I don't put mascara on. One that I really trust that doesn't run is the Benefit Bad Gal Bang. Wow, what is with this name? I have a Bang blush and a Bang mascara. It's super thin brush and really thin formula. It just gives it a darker tint without really getting clumpy. And then last but not least, for the brows, I just kind of tame them with this Revlon soap brow. So add a little bit of water, use the brush inside, and then you can tame the brows to whatever direction you want. So you can keep them swept straight across. I like to add a little bit of fluffiness at the front, tame it throughout the rest. Or you can push them all the way up if you like that kind of laminated look. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I wasn't sure if I was just gonna talk about things or demonstrate at the same time, but if you like the demonstration, please let me know, drop any comment below, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask either on the comments below or go to my Instagram, which is Makeup by Kiehl Scheffler. I'm not an expert on hair, so for hair questions, I'm pretty much going through a trial and error with you guys, and I have a little bit of experience with it, but I definitely am not trained in it. So anything that I suggest is purely a suggestion and what has been successful for me. Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to next week's video and diving into a more intense skincare routine for those of you who are interested. Please give a like and also subscribe to watch more of my content. Thank you.